So it's been a minute. That's kind of one of the bad things about when you get the flu without a flu shot is, yeah, I was sick for 10 days, I guess. So I lost a Saturday, a Sunday. Um, I worked as much as I could for the next 5 days, and then it was a 3 day weekend, and I was still pretty sick for the 3 day weekend. And then, of course, I went back to work Tuesday to Friday, and like as far as symptoms, like the congestion, the cough, and feverish and achiness and all that, that was gone, but it just left me so tired. And so then the weekend finally rolls around again, and on the Saturday I went. I felt like doing stuff, but I was still tired enough that I was really having an issue settling to doing anything. So I wound up, just kind of going to the library, getting some books. I spent Saturday laying around reading. Sunday, I finally decided, okay, I have to get caught up on my laundry, all that stuff, start cleaning up my house a little bit. And doesn't the hydro go out? Now, like, I have a front load wash machine, so I had gotten like one load done. I had my bed stripped, I had washed my pillows, and so then I had a load of towels in the wash machine with bleach, of course, and the power goes out, and it was far enough along in the cycle, I couldn't open the door. A few times the power would flicker back on, and then it would cut out again. I left at like 4 to go to my parents for dinner. So I don't know what time the power finally came on, but I'm really grateful that it was just my old crappy towels, because I would have been pretty upset if I had some, nice towels marinating in bleach for 4 hours. That's not exactly ideal. Anyway, I did finally settle on a project. So right now I have, I don't know, I probably am not going to say this correct, but I believe her name is Svetlana. And she makes these amazing crochet designs as well. But on Ravelry, it's called the insect scarf. And that's what I currently have cast on to my Singer 700. So since I started with the knitting machine, I had come across this pattern. I was searching on Ravelry for knitting machine patterns, and I came across this one. And honestly, I am absolutely obsessed with it. This is something I really want to make. So this is what is on my Singer 700 right now. Is I'm doing this scarf in hand-selected reversible jacquard. So on one side it's like what you see dark on the screen. On one side of my scarf, the dark areas are going to be a burgundy, and then the light areas are a hot pink, and then it'll be the reverse on the other side, or it should be if I do it correctly. And unfortunately, it'll be a long while before I even know if it's working. That's just kind of the nature of working on a double bed machine. So you can see here, I'm working my chart. I'm on, I think right now, the 13th row. And here's how it looks on the knitting machine. And really it's, even though I've cast on using waste yarn, you can't see anything yet. I would imagine it'll be almost the full first page of the chart before I actually can visualize my work and see how it is. Now, this is, of course, going to be, I'll be days working on this, if not weeks. So in the meanwhile, just to have, some quick fun projects, I went and purchased a a folding table to use for the bulky machine that I just rehabbed, and I don't know, I might link back to the video for that in the description as well. So yeah, I think I want to knit some dishcloths. Now, I'm not really sure how well this table is going to work. It is a folding table, so it might end up being too rickety. But the problem is, like, I'm in a very small house, and I'm still waiting for the youngest to move out, so I can have his room as a craft room, or I don't know, maybe I'll leave my room as the craft room and use his room just as my bedroom, since my current bedroom is bigger. Anyway, before I can knit dishcloths, I'm going to comb this yarn, because like every other roll of or ball of this cotton I've ever had, I have a lot of yarn barf. But anyways, so getting back to why I'm going with a folding table. A lot of it is because my dog has a social life. She has a buddy that comes over every Friday. Well, I guess it's my social life too. And so I like to kind of leave as much space as possible in the middle of the living room, because they do wrestle a bit in the house. And yeah, so and you know, I don't want to set the machine up on my kitchen table, because that's where I live my social life. Usually when friends come over, we sit at the table, you know, whether for coffee, tea, whatever. That's just how it is. So yeah, so I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want to have my hobbies, but I want to have the space that the hobbies take available for other purposes as well. Now, today should be a really good knitting day, because I have been doing housework. Like mainly I've been washing my mats, so those are all hanging to dry. I've mopped the floors. So the humidity in the house right now is pretty good. And so I shouldn't have too much issue today with static, I hope. Because static is the machine knitter's absolute enemy. It can be such an issue. Okay. Alright, let's see if we're done with the yarn barf, or if there's another. Oh, I think there's more in there. Maybe not. Yep, I knew it. I knew there'd be more. There always is. Hmm. You know, I always thought I hated knitting dishcloths by hand because it's like you knit so few stitches and then you turn and it just seems like you're always turning and rearranging your needles and yarn. Maybe it's the goddamn yarn barf that I have an issue with. More so than having to turn my work all the time. Because this is friggin' annoying. Oh, come on. You dirty, rotten. What is going on here? We're about 5 seconds away from the scissors. It's still not shaking out. Your hose bag. I don't know why. It's always these balls, these Bernat Handicrafter cotton balls. I have never had one that doesn't do this horse shit. Never. Every single time they do this. And like this is the third puke in this ball. And my nose is starting to itch from the lint off of it. Okay. How soon before we get our next yarn birth? Look at that. Like, I honestly would have expected by now, with this much already out of the ball, that yarn barf would be done, but nope, there was more. I think there's more yet. Okay, so I managed to cast on. One of the needles is broke. The latch came right off. So I've had this one here, there's no latch. So I kept the same number of stitches, but I shifted over 5. Should be fine. I don't think it really matters. So I've done 3, well, I guess, yeah, 3 rows of stockinette, and I'm gonna try doing and every other needle pattern. See how it goes. Like, I don't, oh, and I need to put my muscle levers on 1 to do this. My yarn is getting hung up in the camera arm. I think this will work better. Okay. I'm not sure about this. Oh well, I guess if it doesn't work, we cast on again, but I'm just not sure if I'm gonna like it. Or if it's, I guess not so much, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it. I'm not sure if it's gonna be tedious. You know, I'm already working like a complex project on my other machine. I kind of want this one to be a little simple, I guess. That stitch didn't look very happy. I wonder if maybe I should just be leaving the 2 end needles alone and only working the pattern in the middle. I don't remember what I did last row. If it was these ones or the other ones. You know what? Okay, wait a minute. Let's try this. So I put the Russell lever to 1 for the row going this way, but I left it on 2. Oh, we're hooked on the camera again. For the row going this way. And I think that is going to work. Okay, and I can kind of see which ones I did the last time. Okay. Okay, that works. Instead of having to change the levers on every single row and try and remember what I'm doing, I just have it do the tuck going one way, and then it automatically does the stockinette in that direction. I didn't put the row counter on, I forgot. So I don't know where I'm at here. And you know, at the end of the day, it's just a dishcloth, right? So dishcloths are what I first learned how to hand knit on. At a job I had, we used to at lunchtime all sit in the smoking area and knit. Well, and smoke, but we also knit. And there was enough accomplished knitters there that with their help, I finally learned how to knit. Because before that, my mom tried to show me, but I'm left-handed, and so everything I do looks backwards to her, and it's harder to teach someone when they're knitting opposite to you. I feel like casting on and eventually the cast off is going to take longer than the actual knitting. That's okay though. Sometimes you want a quick project. And for all I don't like knitting them, the knitted dishcloths are my favorites. The one thing, I can control the size, because as I said, I don't like an excessively large dishcloth. Yes, I'm pretty happy with this. It's simple, it's just back and forth. So the stockinette side is pretty smooth, but this side, the other side, has the nubby texture that you get from hand knitted dishcloths. That helps to do whatever you're doing, clean your dishes. I think it's going to curl. That's the only thing. I mean, I guess I could get like fancy and flip it back and forth with a garter bar, but like I said, I'm looking for something easier than that. kind of think this is probably where I want it to be. So I started with 2 rows of just straight stockinette. So I'm going to finish. No, actually, I guess it would be 3. I'm not sure if, okay, this is with no patterning, these first rows. This is with the patterning. I'm just wondering if there was really any gain to doing it. Anyway, so now I have to remember how to cast off. Okay, well, either way, I have a dishcloth. Anyway, don't forget, subscribe, like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a favorite dishcloth pattern for the knitting machine that's simple and straightforward, doesn't require a garter bar, and only requires 1 bed. That would be amazing.